Speaker, my question is to the Premier. People in Scarborough are once again feeling abandoned as the SRT is being decommissioned without an adequate replacement. The original plan was that the Scarborough RT routes would be converted to a dedicated off-street busway during the 7-year closure of the line. That this would save riders 10 minutes compared to on-street service. However, this month it was reported that buses would continue to operate on-street, and even though Council has voted to convert the busway, they lack the funding to do so. So, Speaker, why is the government refusing to help the long-suffering residents of Scarborough?
Hear, hear.
Minister of Transportation.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the member opposite for the question, and I think she knows very well that our government has been the first government to be there for the residents of Scarborough when it comes to transit. Our government, under the leadership of this Premier, put forward a plan for a 3-stop subway extension in Scarborough for the first time. And, Mr. Speaker, we did that not just on our own. We did it with the City of Toronto's support. City Council supported it. Unfortunately for the residents of Scarborough, Mr. Speaker, that member opposite and the entire NDP caucus voted against our plan for the residents of Scarborough. We have been there for the residents of Scarborough with respect to transit, with respect to health care, and with respect to housing. These are infrastructure. This is an infrastructure deficit that we inherited from the Liberals, Mr. Speaker, that we are addressing, but the members opposite continually vote against.
Supplementary question.
Speaker, the people of Scarborough have no idea when that Scarborough subway will be built, and especially after the chaos with the Metrolinx and the 12-year delay of the Eglinton LRT, this government should not be talking about building subways or anything. That's embarrassing. That reputation for Metrolinx is embarrassing. Scarborough Transit users already have some of the longest commute times in the city because this government has failed to provide the needed operating funding for the TTC. And on top of that, with recent service cuts, Speaker, regardless of what this government will say, with recent service cuts, guess which routes are most affected? In Scarborough, with increasing commute times once again for commuters. Now, this government is refusing to fund the $2.9 million investment necessary to ensure residents in Scarborough get the dedicated bus line and SRT replacement while they're waiting for that subway. So my question again to the Premier, Speaker, will this government commit to funding an adequate replacement service for the people of Scarborough?
Members will please take their seats. And to reply, the Premier.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, I called Scarborough the forgotten city until this party, the PC party, came into office. They were no longer forgotten. They were ignored under the previous two governments, NDP and Liberal, when it came to the hospital. Zero funding. They were ignored when it came to the medical school. Zero funding. And when it came to the Scarborough subway, not one single member of the NDP, not one single member from the Liberals that had all their members in Scarborough even tried to attempt to do the Scarborough subway. Mr. Speaker, they voted against the hospital, they voted against the medical school, they voted against the subway, and the nerve to stand up here. We're tunneling a Scarborough subway, but not only that, we're going to continue expanding the Scarborough subway right across Scarborough to make sure the 630,000 people finally have a voice after decades of being ignored.